All right, all right, all right. Mm. We back with part two of Aquarius Sun. You know what I'm saying? Like part one. I went over it, but I'm glad I do two parts. You can always catch me doing two parts of almost everything from here on out. You dig what I'm saying? And speaking of, since I want to do it right, we going in. This is real spiritual work. So, and then doing spiritual work, you got to be mindful of what you're doing. You dig what I'm saying? Because ain't no joke out here. You got a whole bunch of shit that can come against you, but it really don't matter as long as you're up on your game. Because you got to be up on game. If not, boy, this is a cold world out here. Real, real cold world. They'll get you. Get you bad, especially if you show yourself. And once you show who you are, hey, look, it's up. So when you show who you is, just be prepared to deal with everything that comes with it. You dig what I'm saying? I'm prepared to deal with everything that comes with it. And it's cool with me, you dig what I'm saying? Like I said on my first video, I implore you to do your best, but I work for the greater I am, you dig what I'm saying? So do your thing. Not really. I prefer if you don't take that statement back. You know what I mean? Because it's like asking for more bullshit in a world full of bullshit already. Anyway, we're going to get back to the Aquarius Sun. The Aquarius Sun, uh, it deals with the father, again. It deals with the spirit. Some people say it's the soul. It's what people see from you. It's what all the other things within your natal chart are filtered out through. You know what I mean? It's going to be your sun sign. It's not going to be like your moon sign, but a lot of people do play out their moon sign a lot. We'll get to that later. But we're talking about the Aquarius sun that's ruled by Saturn and co-ruled by Uranus. Rick James, baby. Fuck your couch. You dig what I'm saying? So, again, it's ruled by, co-ruled by Rick James, which is my dude. Like, I love that planet, Uranus. Uranus been in Taurus for the last almost 7 years, changing y'all up, doing something for y'all. That squares, Aquarius. We'll get to that. So, remember, I want y'all to remember, it's two vibrations of each sign, a high and a low. You know what I'm saying? So I speak of both on when I'm speaking about everything. I'm speaking of high and low within the whole thing. It's in this wine. As long as you know that and you made of both spirits and they're doing that anyway, you're good to go. You dig what I'm saying? So Aquarius is some of this stuff apply to you, it's cool. Some of it don't, cool. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? But everybody is different because we all born at different times. We all meant to be different. Aquarius knows that. You dig what I'm saying? Most definitely. Definitely know that. They like everything different and unique anyway. They don't like anybody who copies anything or anybody else. But they'll low key do it too. They'll low key, like I said that earlier about Aquarius. Like they'll get information from some people and act like they came up with the information sometimes. That's neither here nor there. But that's cool. So kind of got some notes this time. So we're gonna talk about like the relationships with Aquarius. You know what I mean? Male and female. Because they're kind of like Taurus to me. Because they were conceived in Taurus season a lot of times, unless they was born early. So I look at them on that same vibration as Taurus when it comes to male and female, because they have like this. Oh man, it's like asexual or different kind of sex about themselves. Like when it comes to dealing with relationships or people in general, like definitely sex. Like I don't know how to describe it. Maybe to like the form of like they more intellectual. They're more with the mind sex first and seeing what your mind does first. Like they're turned on mentally first. Opposed to Taurus, would be turned on by any little thing when it comes to the world. But Aquarius is more of, what I mean. But they're kind of alike. They're kind of alike because, like, they love in a different kind of way. Kind of like cold. It could be cold sometimes. Okay. So that in relationships, like they want to make the rules too. Like they'll make the rules in relationships. They kind of like want to come up with ultimatums and shit like that, and things we gonna abide by. But then they'll turn around and don't follow none of them shits, and they'll break all the rules too. They'll end up breaking all the rules that they made within the relationship. You know what I mean? Cause they kind of like, again, they gonna go against it. Like you follow their rules, and then they be like, oh, you follow my rules, and then so they gonna go against it anyway. So that's just in their nature. They just go the opposite way sometimes because they don't feel right. When they feel like shit running too smooth, they're gonna throw a monkey wrench in the program, just to, you know what I mean, change things up. They don't like things to get stale, even though because they're in the stale spot, they're air sign, but they're a fixed air sign, so they can't change up even if they wanted to. A lot of times, like they stubborn as fuck. Like they real stubborn. You can't even change their mind on shit. Like that's one sign you can really not, like, you not changing their mind on shit. Once their mind's made up, a lot of times that shit is made up. And like no matter what, like you're not gonna change that Aquarius's mind at all. You know what I mean? And they got their reasons or whatever. But they trippy when it comes to that within relationships. But they could be into open relationships. They could be into poly relationships. They could be into being the side chick, side dude, whatever. Like that's the kind of shit that they be on sometimes. Like Aquarius is like that when it comes to relationships. Like they'll actually be that, all those things I just said. The poly relationships. Like right now, you're gonna start seeing a whole lot more poly relationships. I know it's been becoming popular this last maybe 3-4 years. Becoming a lot more popular. Pluto's been getting close. It was dangling, and it was going back and forth between Capricorn and Aquarius the last couple of years, but now it's like rolling in Aquarius. So you're gonna start seeing a lot more relationships. This poly relationships or open relationships, or like Aquarius is different. Or sometimes Aquarius, they could go without sex too. Like they could be the ones that they don't need no relationship. Their relationship is with themselves because they might feel like nobody got their intellect, or it's like nobody that really connects with them. Like they probably need somebody from outer space, like an alien or something like that right there. they need something like that right there to get with them, like to turn them on sexually, because they could be turned on by all kinds of stuff. Or let me see what else I wrote down. Or they could be like one of those. They could be like those people that be out and about at a club or whatever, and they see a couple, and like just they luck, because Aquarius draws that kind of energy. Like I don't like, that's their energy of like, especially out and about dealing with the public. So boom, that's their energy anyway. So they're gonna attract that. They'll attract a couple who's already into a poly relationship. They already been talking about it, and now like they run into that Aquarius. Now that Aquarius becomes a part of their relationship. You know what I mean? And speaking of, matter of fact, Pac mama, Tupac's mom, prior to having him, shit, she was in the poly relationship with Matulu Shakur. Like she jumped in and that shit, and he was already married, so she decided she was gonna be his second wife. You dig what I'm saying? So that's an example of Aquarian energy. You know what I mean? Them joining something that's already there, something that's already built, but they feel like they can improve on it. You dig what I'm saying? Like because it's ruled by Saturn, but so it's already structured, and so they're gonna bring more structure in a different way. Because you got Rick James right there, so Rick James ain't looking at it like, you know what I mean? Y'all looking at it. They're looking at it from a totally different perspective, because you gotta remember, Uranus is the planet that's turning the opposite way and tilted. So it's like, it's not, as far as the rest of the planets go, it's not even looking at the shit or playing out, down here as you know what I mean, like the rest of the planets, because adding that element to the Aquarius sun, you know what I mean, that's what gives them that uniqueness to be like, okay, yeah, I'm coming into it, but still not have no feelings about it, but making sure the shit works. So they could be the ones that, male or female. And every time I'm speaking about Aquarius, like I was going to break it down to some Aquarian males and Aquarian females, but again, they're kind of like, again, Taurus, like it's no sex, like the lower part of the body, like uh, that's not what they really into. Like the lower part of the body, you have to learn about that. That's more Scorpio. Scorpio knows about the lower part. You know what I mean? You know, the reproductive organs. You know what I mean? Uh, but you know what I mean? Like you talk about, but Aquarius can be loyal though. They can be loyal. They can be loyal within a relationship, like cause they do love. I don't want people to ever think like Aquarius don't love, cause everybody always say Aquarius ain't got no heart. I always call Aquarius 10 man and shit like that right there, and like cause like ain't no love over this, like ice cold. Like they because they look at love in a different way. They analyze love too much to really feel it. Uh, Cancer in the six, you know what I mean? We're gonna get on to that right there because that plays a major part in a lot of Aquarius's detachment in different ways. You know what I mean? When it comes to the love and the feeling vibration of, because it's ruled by Saturn. Saturn ain't with all that love. Saturn is with what's real, and so we got that ruling Aquarius. They're about like what's real in a different way. You dig what I'm saying? So if it's not real or working for them, like trust me, that's not gonna be their kind of relationship. You know what I mean? Uh, they might, even though that they loyal, sometimes it's not all Aquarius. Cause again, like they're fixed. So a lot of times it adds some Scorpio energy to it. They could be fixated on that one energy and stay there on that one person. But then in some cases, you add more air to it. You add a lot more. Say like it's a lot more air. You add a little bit more air. So you add any other air like Libra or Gemini, or definitely Gemini. They'll definitely change up if they feel like the next person can take them in a better place for a longer period of time. For you know what I mean, for whatever they got planned out. And as far as life, they feel like, okay, well, you know, this relationship is good, but you know, this one right here could be better because I'm prosper more in life and I'm gonna have more gains. You dig what I'm saying? There ain't nothing about feelings. This is just like a no brainer. You gotta use your brain, like not your feelings. Think with your brain. I say that because for the same reasons that you know, a lot of times females, a lot of times they'll marry for love the first time, and the second time they'll marry for stability. You dig what I'm saying? Like that love, like the first time they have to go through the trials and errors again, because Aquarius knows that. You know what I mean? The feelings, Taurus ruling the fourth house, that's a square for them. You dig what I'm saying? So that's love, and you know, a lot of times it can play out negatively, and with Cancer in the sixth, you know, with the Virgo energy, like it could play out negatively. You know what I mean, when it comes to love and things at home sometimes. And a lot of times it might be their fault or whatever have you, but that's a square. That's their natural square natally for Aquariuses. But not for all, you know what I mean? It just depends on how they build. You dig what I'm saying? Again, what time you born. Uh, Also, when they they might date outside of their race. They could be the one that really like dates outside of their race, like in their family. Like everybody in the family could be like you know, dating whatever race that they are, or whatever ethnic background that they are, and roll with that. But that Aquarius is gonna bring someone totally different in. Like they'll bring them to the family dinner. You know what I mean? Knowing how their family feel about anyone outside of their ethnic culture, and they won't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And a lot of times they'll get banished from the family, and they don't even give a fuck because, like, again, because Aquarius can look at other people like family and their family like strangers. You dig what I'm saying? Because I think Aquarius overstands the power that, or the energy that, you know, you could be born into a family, but that's not your, you know, your spiritual family. Because again, like they're connected to the ancestors, so they overstand like the people that they run into might be in a different vessel, even into a different race or a different vessel, but they know who they're attached to, and they know how to go about operating in that manner and getting with who they need to get with a lot of times. Or if they don't need to get with nobody, because a lot of Aquarius could just go years with just being like to themselves in their own little box and not even fucking with nobody. And I think that's where a lot of the energy is going for a lot of the world. Uh, Remember, you heard this first, because I'm going to do it. Invest into sex robots. Invest into sex robots. Remember, you heard that. I'm definitely getting my stocks. Or and uh, Aquarius can have a lot of different relationships sometimes too, because of their natural natal, because they have Sag in the 11th. You know what I mean? So that's expansion. That's a lot. And then you have Libra, which is in their the ninth house in the relationships. And, you know what I mean? That's one-on-one relationships. That could be a lot of relationships. And Leo, which is the sun, which is the sun is going to play out anyway within the seventh house. Regardless, that's why they do negative shit, which opposite of the sun, to get attention within the relationships, and they'll do like everything that I said prior to me saying this, like, and they could have a lot of different relationships, just like quick and be over it and not have any feelings about it, because they keep them light, because you have Libra right there in the ninth. So a lot of their relationships, one-on-one relationships, could be very light. It could be very passionate, fiery, quick. You know what I mean? It was fun, quick and done. You know what I mean? It's whatever. When it comes to Aquarius, you know what I mean? Naturally, when it comes to them with them relationships, and they could, when they're young, they can date like older people, like a lot older, like a lot older. Or they could, you know what I mean, when they're young, like they'd be real young. They'd be like 18 dating somebody who's 65 or some shit. Like it'll be some like off the wall Michael Jackson shit. Like they'll be dating somebody like, and it'll be like, it'll seem like it don't make sense. You know what I mean? And it don't a lot of times, but it makes sense to them. But then when they get older, they'll date a lot younger. You know what I mean? They'll date a lot younger than, you know what I mean, when they get older, they don't date old. They'll date younger. Like again, that's that Rick James energy. It's gonna do the opposite. Like, shit, like it don't feel right rocking like that. So it's gonna, you know what I mean, naturally do the opposite of what that sun sign energy is, and that Saturn's gonna make it real. It's gonna make it real, and it can't help it because it's fixed. Like a lot of other air signs could probably change up, and stick with even Gemini. Even Gemini, they could stick with who they're with, depending on. Let me take that back. Gemini. I'm sorry, I ain't picking that y'all. Goddamn. Anyway, like, look, I take that back. Fuck that. Anyway, Aquarius, yeah, you know what I mean, is lit. They could also they could love hearing bad stories, like low key, they could love hearing low key. They love hearing bad stories about like shit they used to do in the past, like you telling the bad story about like some shit that Aquarius done did. I don't care what expression that they got on their face. Trust me, they eating that shit. They eat. Oh man, they love that shit. Like tell that shit. Unless you telling it to somebody that they was trying to keep the information from. Now you done fucked up. If they was like, if you was like they was trying to keep the information from that person that you're telling about that bad shit that they was doing, then they mad at you, and then they gonna try to not they gonna start shooting. Next opportunity they get, they gonna shine on you, and they gonna wait till they're in a perfect opportunity, and they gonna wait till a bunch of people around, and they gonna shine on you real hard about some shit that you did around them. You know what I mean? Or shit that they might know or whatever. Like and even if it ain't true or whatever, but they'll shine on you. But don't tell them no information that they know personally, because they will like wait till a lot of people get around, and you supposed to be going like again, like they're gonna shoot the sun down, like if you go around a lot of people and like it might be your birthday and shit right there, everybody, people from your office or whatever there, and you got that Aquarius friend that's there, and they gonna say some ill shit about your ass. You like, oh shit, like, and it be true too. Everybody be like, damn, why them all? And like, cause you got them, and they ain't gonna forget about that shit. And Aquarius is gonna do that anyway. Like a lot of times, like if they know some information about you, you know what I mean? Like they'll use it against you at the opportune time to basically shoot you down. Like when you're supposed to be shining, they're gonna make sure that, you know what I mean, like you remember the shit, you know what I mean, that you did or whatever. You know what I mean? Like they funny, they funny in it with, and they can say that shit. That shit be funny as hell. Everybody gonna be laughing at you. You know what I mean? Because like I said before in the first video, they like, excuse me, they're verbal bullies. You know what I mean? Like, and they're good with words. They're great with words. You know, I didn't say that. All the greatest rappers are air signs. Trust me, all the greatest rappers are air signs. You can look it up yourself. I mentioned Rakim earlier. I should have mentioned Rakim as far as famous Aquarius. J. Cole. Who else we got? Got Cam too. I like Cam. That nigga crazy. You see, I Cam treating Jim Jones right now, or whatever. You know what I mean? That's that cancer. That's basically that Charlie Murphy Aquarius. It's basically Charlie Murphy and Rick James all over again in a different kind of way. And if you know, you know. You dig what I'm saying? We gonna move on. You dig what I'm saying? Again, but they love hearing them bad stories about their past because you got cancer. You know what I mean? In that sixth house, and that plays a major part in Aquarius. Again, because those feelings, because they're analyzing and they're thinking about them way too much instead of feeling the shit. Instead of feeling it, they're thinking about it, and they're trying to make sense of it. And if it don't make sense, then fuck that feeling. And if they're feeling it too much, they're gonna make sure that they change that vibration. And no matter what they got to do, it might be something very extreme just to change that energy, because like it could be very very negative. And side note, and that's what can make they say they're high intellect and very smart and humanitarians and shit, but because of that sixth house, a lot of them could be low-key racist, like, and that'd be crazy because like y'all too smart to be fucking racist, but it'll be that fucking sixth house because you got Cancer and Virgo, which is that racist and that prejudice shit and judgmental. So you add all that into a motherfucker, like, and they ain't changing their mind on that shit. You meet a fucking racist Aquarius, they ain't never changing. Boy, they'll die like that. They gonna die racist. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, unless they change it now. A lot of them probably change it now. Anyway, fuck it. If they don't, they'll die fucking racist. Black, white, whatever. Aquarius could be that way. I'm like, God damn, y'all too motherfucking smart for that. You know what I mean? Like, but like a lot of times it's how they're raised. You know what I mean? Depending on how they're raised, they might go again the opposite of how they was raised. They might come from a family that's more open, and they might be the opposite. Like, nah, I ain't dating because I outside my race because and they see examples. They'll make a lot of examples of why, and they'll be logical, very logical, and they'll be true, but at the same time, like, it just like don't make sense a lot of times, but it makes sense for them. Low key, a lot of them, like, speaking of 6 hours, like a lot of them work from home. They're good for working from home off their laptops, their computers. They could be telemarketers and shit like that. They good for that. They can sit home all day and work from home and make bank. Again, cause they'll figure out another way to do it. Like, they're good at it, cause and they'll get once they get fixated on that shit and get good at, because they have a lot of knowledge about whatever job that they're into, because they can bring work home, kind of like Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is in Aquarius natural natal in the 11th. So you take those two energies of like dealing with technology and energy, and that's their shit, and they have a lot of knowledge on technology and how to work that technology and how to make it work for them, and make it like an alchemist, like they're real alchemists when it comes to that realm. So they could take those things from home and work like that. But they could also be out and about and work out with the public and be like humanitarian, like home health aides and shit, like nurses. They make good nurses and like home health aides. That's what you'll see them doing a lot, like going to people's like older people's houses because you got Saturn there, so you know what I mean. That's dealing with older things and Uranus there, so it's dealing with the public. So they probably like they could be like the traveling nurses. They could be like the traveling nurses, and I'm telling you as far as like jobs, like they make great traveling nurses. Another job that they're great at, which is their natural spot, and I know for sure. Shout out there to flight attendants. Great flight attendants. That's a natural job for Aquarians. You know what I mean? Dealing with the public, the people, and the air, because it's an air sign. And you're dealing with Rick James, Uranus. That planet deals with flying vehicles. Gemini deals with, like motorcycles, cars, things like that right there. Those kind of vehicles. You know what I mean? They rule different things. Again, it's that cold air element, so they could be up in the air, high altitudes, and so they're good when it comes to those kind of jobs. Also, a lot of them love scary movies. Like they love scary movies. A lot of them might have their houses decorated with a lot of scary stuff. They could be into a lot of different things because you got Saturn in the 10th with Scorpio. So that's going to create, they've probably seen every scary movie you could think of, and every trilogy they into it. They know scary movies, you know what I mean? Like a lot of them know scary movies and they love it. Unless they got like this religious aspect to them, then they ain't fucking with it. Then Aquarius ain't fucking with it. You know what I mean? Or unless they got a hard square with the 8th house. But I doubt it, because most Aquarius is cool with that type of shit, that gore, that slashing, that serial killers and shit like that. They like shit like that. Aquarius is weird, you know what I mean? Like again, that's their word. That's the key word when you talking about Aquarius. Weird. Or matter of fact, I'm gonna stop using that word because that could be like, because I could be bullying them, because they could be verbal bullies. They probably like, you shouldn't use that term. All this canceling culture. That's that new age bullshit. Aquarian shit. Let me not say weird. Let me say eccentric. Aquarians are very eccentric people. Super eccentric and unique when it comes to everything about that sun sign, because you got, again, that Rick James energy helping them out, making them be different and have different energy. A lot of times at their house they might have like the newest technology at their house. They might have like the newest TV or some shit that come from overseas you ain't even seen yet, like or the like they, again, because they rule that the technology realm. So they could have the newest shit, or they could have some old shit though. I ain't gonna cap, like, cause I've seen Aquarius who have old like technology, but they'll utilize that shit and make that shit work. Like it's they'll make it work for them and make it be practical for them. It could be something old, but they'll utilize it. It's not just gonna sit around and, you know what I mean, and collect dust within their house. They're gonna find something to do with that motherfucker. You gonna work up in here, like everything in their house work. Like if it don't work, they will throw that shit the fuck out. That's one thing about Aquarius. Like they're not hoarders like that. You can't. Some can be, but it's rare that you find an Aquarius that's gonna be a hoarder, that have a lot of shit that's in their house. If that shit don't work, they're gonna throw that shit the fuck out. If not, they're gonna flip it and make some money off it, cause like that's what they're about. You know what I'm saying? Like being good with taking. Well, hang on, cause I take that back, cause this bullshit, cause you got Saturn there. Cause Saturn's still old. Cause they could be like Fred Sanford, like dead ass. Yeah, Fred Sanford was a Sagittarius. Yeah, his character on. Yeah, they could take junk and flip it and make money. So I take that back, cause they'll still take old stuff like Saturn and then flip it and do something else with it, or they could refurbish it, or they could be like the people who or that little show where the dudes used to go around collecting antiques. They'll collect antiques that's worth money and flip it like that. That's some Aquarian shit. Like they'll take some shit from like 100 years ago or whatever it may be. Like it could be a sign or an old sign from a gas station or old car. They'll take old cars and flip them and add new shit to them. Like they might have the old school car, but the inside of the car, digital, everything in that motherfucker new. You dig what I'm saying? All that shit is futuristic on the inside. Look like a spaceship on the inside, but on the outside, it's old than a motherfucker. Like it might be a 72 motherfucking Cutlass or some shit like that. But on the inside, that bitch look like a 2022 spaceship. You dig what I'm saying? That's some Aquarius shit. They good for that, and they're good when it comes to hooking things up, like electricians too. I take that. Yeah, they're good with electricity because they rule that almost, because you know what I mean, in between them and Aries, you know what I mean, that lightning, that striking boom, that thunderbolt, that Zeus energy. You dig what I'm saying? They rule that. You dig what I mean? What else? They also, you know what I mean. This the other thing about them too, that they low key, they love animals. Sometimes they love animals more than they love people. Like they really like some of them just fuck with animals. Like they'll be in love with animals and they'll have whatever animal that they're into. Like they'll pour their all into that animal and they'll speak about the animal like this my baby. You know what I mean? Like this, they might not even have no kids, because a lot of Aquarius ain't got no kids too. We can get to that too. A lot of Aquarius they might not have no kids, so like that animal will be like their kid. And they'll treat that animal like their child or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And but they'll be weird. They'll say shit like, they'll be the humanitarians like don't kill ferrets and things like that for their fur. Those are the people who will throw paint on you if you got one of them fur coat on, like, you know what I mean, of an endangered species, like them crazy people, and they'll go to jail about that shit. But it's all right, they got that bond money, trust me, because they knew they was gonna do that shit. They already planned that shit. They'd be like, that's why they got the paint. That's why the Aquarius got the paint. They planned on throwing that shit on the first motherfucker that they seen with their goddamn coat on. It just happened to be you with your goddamn chinchilla today. And you just got that shit, Frank Lucas style. Now you got to throw that bitch in the motherfucking fireplace and let that bitch burn, because that Aquarius done threw some goddamn paint on your shit. Some purple paint too. That day motherfucking color was some turquoise shit. You might as well forget that shit. And that shit ain't gonna never be the same. You dig what I'm saying? Again, but they can love animals to the extent that they like fuck people. You know what I mean? They be like, I be like that's fucked up. Like, you're still a human, but like in their head, like they're like, no, animals ain't got the intelligence of humans, because when you're dealing with Aquarius, that's a human sign, because it's like the man or the woman or whatever you want to call it that's pouring out the water. You dig what I'm saying? It's one of the human signs. Like it's not an animal sign. So like they're a little bit more evolved when it comes to being a human, but not really. But I guess their logic is like humans have enough sense to take care of themselves where animals don't. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Aquarius is, you know, tend to love animals a lot, and you know that's dope. I love that they love animals the way that they do. I have that in common with them, because I love all animals, all kind of animals, any kind of animal. I just got two animals I don't fuck with, but I ain't gonna never be in their element to fuck with them like that. Which is the shark, that's just fucking teeth, no brain, but it has brain. It's smart, but like it's teeth in the mouth, and then you got alligators, crocodiles, whatever. Them two I ain't fucking with, because they're just teeth and little brains. Teeth and little brains. There's like a lot of people that I know, teeth, always talking, and little fucking brains, running their goddamn mouth. And it's cool, but because like I'll see them just snapping. They snapping. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Aquariuses, they get like gifts. They get all their gifts, male or female Aquariuses. They get their gifts from their fathers. They get their gifts from their fathers, but they're influenced all by their mothers, because like their relationship when it comes to their fathers is different. A lot of times when the Aquarius, even if they in the house with the father, it's still gonna be different. like because Aquarius is going to take whatever they see within the father and do the opposite or make it play out in a different way. Because if you know Greek mythology, like uh, it was the first father. It was the motherfucker eating all his kids because he was afraid, one of his kids gonna uprise against him. You dig what I'm saying? So had to deal with him. You dig in a different way. And that's one thing you have to understand about Aquarius energy when it comes to the father. They're going to always do the opposite. You dig what I'm saying? Because, like, that's the way and they can't change that. They you know what I mean? Like, they'll take what they see with the gifts. Mind you, they'll have all the gifts. They'll take all the gifts, but they'll utilize them different and in a better way too. A lot of times they'll utilize the gifts in a better way, and to make it better than what the father did, because they know how to improve on it. They know how to improve on it, but at the same time, like they'll be rebellious in the way that they do it. You dig what I'm saying? Like, that's just their natural way of doing things, because you still have Sagittarius in their 8th house, and they're always looking for male guidance a lot of times. Like male and female Aquariuses, they're going to look for male guidance. But because the mother done influenced them so much from young, and that critiqueness and that's fixated. Whatever the mother fed, that's is still like in all fixed signs, whether it be Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, or Scorpio. Like those, like whatever mother embedded in them, a lot of times that's there, and it ain't gonna change, male or female. But definitely when it comes to Aquarius, more so. But you know, I mean, they're like I said, they'll improve on it in different ways, and it'll look rebellious, and it will be rebellious, Bobby Brown style. You dig what I'm saying? Within New Edition, it ain't trying to, like, it might look like he going along with the program, but he ain't going along with the programs. What else we got? What else I have about Aquarius? They all, like, their houses can be different, depending on their rising sign. All their houses be different. Remember I was saying, like, some of them could have new technologies or old technologies within their house, depending on their rising sign. You know what I mean? Like, that's how they are. Like, their 4th house is going to tell you, their 4th house and their 11th house will tell you what kind of house, or like, because some of them could be sloppy. You could have some of them that's very sloppy. Their houses look like shit, but they fine with it, and don't come in there talking about their house like their house might even smell like shit. Might be a real fucked up house, real fucked up low key, but they'll have some expensive shit in a real fucked up house. Like them people that have like they stay in a trailer park and have a motherfucking real, almost damn near exotic car in a trailer park. Like, you be like, what the fuck? Like, shit don't even make sense. Like, again, because it depends on whatever their rising sign is and whatever falls in that 4th house and that 11th house. So that's what kind of energy you're gonna get when it comes to Aquarius. Overall, like, they're very good, like, people, and you can learn a lot from them when it comes to dealing with anything within group settings. Again, like, they're gonna try to be the leaders within the group, but at the same time, like, that's where they'll fuck up, because they'll start off one way and as far as like being with the group, but then again they want to rebel against the same rules that they made and make it unfair for the group. Now the group don't even want to fuck with them, and they'll look at the group like, y'all fucking up, like, cause like they could even came up with the idea and created the whole thing. So we're gonna go back to it and do like, so Bobby Brown created New Edition, cause like you really know the story. Bobby Brown created New Edition, right? Boom. So he came up with the group. And then he put them together. He put everybody together. Yeah, that was basically his idea. It was his idea, because they good with coming up with the great ideas as far as working with the group. Now the group is going, so he not getting the attention, because you got Ralph, which is the square, which is the Taurus, his square getting the attention. So now he like, nah, fuck that. You know what I mean? He started rebelling because he didn't like he wasn't getting enough attention, and so he felt like, you know, doing it in the Leo Aquarius type way, like he gonna do like again, they gonna do the negative shit to get attention, and they don't give a fuck because you still hear them stories about Bobby Brown. Everybody love Bobby Brown and hearing them stories. You know what I mean? When it was playing out, you didn't like the shit, but now it's like later you find out like, oh yeah, the story was dope. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like that's just them. You know what I mean? Like he ended up going on his own, you know what I mean? Like doing his own thing. And when he did his own thing, his prerogative and all that shit right there, that shit worked for him. Everybody fucked with him, and like he was just doing shit different out the box that was never done before, and music wise, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? He was doing things a lot different. And that's what Aquarius is here for. They're here to change things up. They ain't going with the same old, even if it's within the group. You dig what I'm saying? I love how Michael Jordan used his energy because he's an Aquarius. You dig what I'm saying? Like they kind of cheat too. Like they'll cheat to win too. Like again, because remember I said they want to make the rules and break the rules. Michael Jordan, like that motherfucker had the NBA change rules just for him. You dig what I'm saying? And then he would break it like that motherfucker. Like you dig what I'm saying? If you go back and watch that Jordan story again, remember I told you they like hearing shit when motherfuckers talk bad stories about them. That's another thing. Go back and watch that Michael Jordan shit. You look at his face, and then you tell me if I'm fucking lying. I'm telling you, bro. Like they be on some shit, but like. Other than that, like Aquarius, they cool people. You dig what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Some of my favorite Aquarius is when it comes to like musically. I love D'Angelo. Like that's my dude. Sam Cooke was also he was a Aquarius. Justin Timberlake, he an Aquarius also. But yeah, D'Angelo my dude as far as like Aquarius is go. He's probably one of my favorite ones. Like I got, you know what I mean, Aquarius energy I rock with. I like Rick James too. That's my dude. Like Rick James, fuck with Rick James, man. My dude, heavy. Rick James, bitch. Like you can't go wrong with Rick James, baby. Like you fronting on Rick James, you on some bullshit. He was on some shit too. Like you remember when he came out, he was on some shit. He went to Motown to save Motown. Like he can't, like boom. Motown was already structured and built. This is how Saturn worked. Like Saturn or Capricorn, like they already had their name. Like in Capricorn, they was already known. Motown was already known. You dig what I'm saying? So Rick James coming in with that Saturn energy also, but he got that, you know what I mean, Uranus energy with it. Like he came in and turned that bitch up and made them more money. Made Barry Gordon more money in a different kind of way because he wasn't on that same old Motown shit. He was on some new shit. He's talking about Mary Jane smoking that. Oh, Mary Jane. Matter of fact, I'm about to get on some Mary Jane real quick. Speaking of, you dig what I'm saying? Salute to Rick James, Uranus. That's why we call Uranus. Dig what I'm saying? We come here, and that's what it does. It comes and change whatever's right there. It already got structure to it. Aquarius is good for coming in and adding some new flavor to it. You dig what I'm saying? And you might not always like the change, but the change is going to happen regardless. And that's one thing you have to know about life in general. And most humans. Speaking like Aquarius now, most humans have a problem with accepting change and things that they can't change. That's one of the biggest issues for humans in general, and Aquarians know that because they're here to change things. You dig what I'm saying? Especially the ones from the Scorpio generation. I fucks with y'all. I fucks with y'all real heavy. Like I'll call y'all like Aquarians from the Scorpio generation. Y'all the shit. I fucks with y'all heavy. But like, look, I ain't gonna make this video too long. Again, this is part 2 about the Aquarius sun. I'm gonna start breaking down Aquarius moon and breaking down the planets within Aquarius all this month. And then we're gonna talk about the house also, the 11th house. We just talk about them all, different videos for different things every day. You dig what I'm saying? That I can give it to you. Again, this your boy. Holla at me again. Welcome to Neptune. Holla at you. Rick James. Aquarius. Salute.